How's it going? Man, this is we've been talking about this for a while, Steve. Getting this set up, and it's just taken us some time to kind of evolve through everything. I'm getting an echo. It's weird. Yeah, I think I got that taken care of. Anyways, how's everybody doing? Chat, light it up. See, we got a few of you guys in here already. Dimitri, what's up? Tom, what's happening, brother? Hey, that could be a fun show, though. There we go. There we go. Oh, yeah. Hold on, Steve.
Something that's
Hold on.
oh,
Thank you, Tom. Thank you. So, we let's see. We got you back up. You were muted for some reason. You weren't
I
a
was
second ago.
muted.
Yeah, you were muted for
Weird.
some reason. Anyways, so for you guys that missed it, Steve just introduced the title of the new show, obviously, the True Grit Podcast. So, Steve, take it from there.
True Grit Podcast, man. Episode number 1. Something we've both been looking forward to. I think we've been talking about this probably since you and I first connected with grit and what we wanted to do with it, right? Talking paintball in a different light tonight, kind of getting real with everybody, and it's something that I hold true to my heart. And it's cool to hear that we have some form of an audience. You know, even though they're friends, it's still an audience. So thanks, guys, for listening.
Hell yeah.
But for those of you that do know me personally, I'm a super warm dude. I get down and dirty, right, when it comes down to just feelings and loving everybody, mindfulness, all that shit. And so, Brady, I think you said it when you sent it out in the Discord earlier. Like, this is just no filter. We're talking real tonight. We're not
Yeah.
breaking fields down. We're not talking about teams. It's you and I just kind of getting real at the human level. And I'm excited to be here, man.
Hell yeah. Well, we got Eric in the house. Tom. Eric says he's got the grill going, podcast going. Let's get it. Hey, let's
Nice.
go. So,
Nice.
Steve, what do you got tonight? Because I know you sent me a whole list of stuff we're going to talk about, and I can't wait to dive into it.
Yeah. So I'll kind of back into it. We have some talking points that I wanted to kick this one off with, but for those of the guys that have been listening to us in our future audience, the True Grit Podcast is exactly that, right? It's mindset, mindfulness,
Yep.
just us talking shop, right? When it comes to how do you take care of yourself mentally, physically, how do you take care of your relationships, your family, your girlfriend, your wife, your kids, things that we all struggle with, right? I will say this, and I think that's what I bring to the table and why I think this is such a great thing for the paintball community is I've lived a lot of stuff, right? Everybody's gone through shit in life, but I've noticed I've become that guy kind of in even the local scene. I'm the one that's getting called to like, hey, can we go get a beer? I just need to talk. Or, hey, what advice do you have? Right. And I'm not perfect, man. I was just dealing with something today.
Yeah.
But I think it's good for us since we now have a platform, Brady. We now have a voice. We have people that are willing to listen. That I think it's cool that we have an outlet within paintball where we can just have kind of a round table and get each other's backs, right? Which leads me into our first topic. And that first topic today is, how did we get into paintball or why did we get into paintball, right? Not how, because we went to a birthday party, went to a bachelor party, but why we stayed in it, right? Everybody goes to that birthday party. Everybody plays that open play game and says, dude, I love this shit, right?
Yeah.
But why do you stay into it? Why do you get into tournament paintball, right?
Yeah.
I can speak for myself, and I'm sure I speak for a lot of other guys, which leads into so many more topics tonight. But I continued playing tournament paintball. For those in this kind of goes back, Brady, to your no filter thing. I'll put myself out there tonight. I don't care. I stayed in paintball because I was a 19-year-old drug addict. Suburbs of Chicago, decent family, but I just got caught up in the wrong stuff.
Yeah.
I had a buddy of mine that took me to a birthday party. And then after that, I saw, now mind you, I grew up in Chicago. So I immediately saw Chicago Aftershock. I immediately saw Avalanche. I immediately saw dudes that I was like, dude, this is awesome. And why am I doing, stupid shit? Let me go this direction. Right. And so I started just spending, at the time it was Country Club Paintball. It was an indoor field in Chicago. And I would spend Friday through Sunday there. It was $110 a case of paint because it was an indoor field. And, it got me out of the shit, man. It got me clean. It got me kind of focusing more on, where should my life go and what purpose do I have, right? And I think that's a great question to ask, like why we're in paintball, because we all have a commonality. You and I talked about this earlier today, right? And that commonality is going to be paintball. But why are we truly in it? Everybody's seeking something out of this sport, right?
Yeah.
Everybody comes back to it, right? There's the running joke between everybody that plays paintball, right? Why do you quit and you came back? You quit and you came back. You quit and came back. There's something there.
Yeah.
Right. And to me personally, and I'm curious to hear how it appeals to you and others like in the chat, but to me, I stayed into it because it gave me a positive outlet at a very young age.
Yeah.
I'm 43. I've literally been playing since 18. I played my first national tournament in World Cup 2001. Right. So, and fun fact, I played with Danny Tiljack, who played for Dynasty. He and I grew up playing together. That was like the first kind of exposure I had to like a future pro player. So that was kind of cool. But after that, I was just sucked in. Right. And there's been times in my life where I've quit and I've come back, and I always come back because I think it's that one thing that kind of gave me hope and gave me truth and a purpose. And so I wanted to open up the episode tonight because there's so many other things we could branch away from that. But I wanted to touch on, why we play paintball.
Yeah.
And I think everybody has a reason.
For sure. I mean, I have a good reason for it. So, I mean, I don't know if I've ever told you my paintball story. I mean, we can get into that another time for sure. But long story short, I hadn't seen a paintball gun until like 2005. It was my first ever time. Me and my brother got them for Christmas, and we went to a small local field, shout out Shock Zone. And that was my first experience playing paintball, and it scared the hell out of me. But fast forward 10 years later, some buddies from high school, they invited me out to their little private field behind their house full of tires. And that was my first like real getting into the game, playing paintball. And we had an absolute blast, but they kind of fell off the trail and didn't continue playing. I had acquired a few pieces of gear. I think it was like a Alpha Black. Do you remember those? The city. So it's like it looked like an M16. The thing was sick, dude. I spent like $600 on this gun. I bought it and then never played a game of paintball again. Like that was so that was 2012, 2013, I think. And then fast forward to 2020 I was heavily involved in my church's youth group, and we were looking for some fun activity to take the kids out and do. And so I did some research, found that, hey, we have a paintball field in my town. I didn't even know it. And so I went down there to check the place out, was like immediately invited in by the owners to come and try it out. They handed me a bag of paint and was like, get out there and try it. And I was like, okay, like, let's do it. And so, like, I think if I remember right, like I took a few things with me because I remember I had like a legit plate carrier and I had my Alpha Black. So I intended to play. And within like 10 minutes, dude, I'm like throwing this crap off. I'm like, give me one of those guns. Because everybody else had these like space guns I had never seen before, And I was just getting pieced up like left and right. I was like, give me one of those. So I took it. And I mean, I had an absolute blast, but I noticed the difference from that time going back to play from my previous times going out. There was a community around this game. There was like probably 20 people at the field at the time, and they were playing on what I didn't know at the time and never seen was the airball. And they were getting ready for a street ball tournament. So anybody watching this later that doesn't know what street ball is, it's basically you come, you sign on as an individual, and then they randomly pair you up with somebody. And so it was a 2v2 street ball. And so I spent like the next 3 weeks going back and back and back, getting ready for this thing. And ended up taking third place in my first ever tournament, Steve.
That's all.
And I was fucking hooked from the start. Like, the specific thing that kept me there was like all the mundane shit that goes on throughout your day, stuff like the bills and the crap that goes on in your home life, whatever. Like the moment they said go, all that went away. Like it immediately killed the noise for me. And so that's the one thing that keeps me going back every single week.
Dude, that's heartfelt, and it touches on what we're talking about, right? And that warms my heart to hear that story, because it ties into what we talked about. And that's, not only do we need a purpose, right?
Yeah.
Men need a purpose, but men also need competition.
Mm.
And I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
And we have that commonality, right? The commonality is, for sake of transparency, a lot of us are the degenerates, the outcasts, right? We're the nerdy guys. We're the dudes that, we were reading fantasy books in the library when everybody else was playing baseball. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like a lot of us did play sports too, but for the most part, a lot of paintball guys. And you know what? Actually, who defines it really well is Tom Lucier. He's like, paintball players are either potheads or nerds or both.
Yep.
I mean, it's very true.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us have looked for, where's that brotherhood that I can feel welcomed, right? And where is it that I can feel like I'm the star? I've always wanted to be the football star. I always wanted to be the baseball, the head pitcher, the star pitcher, right? But I wasn't, because I was the nerdy dude, or I was a little chubby in high school.
Yep.
So I found this one sport that I could shoot people in for fun, have a great time, feel like I'm $1 million when I'm done playing it, but like I'm meeting a bunch of other dudes that were just as weird as me.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that comes down to like what we talked about too, and that's that commonality piece. I think that commonality piece is there. Like we all have something in common, right? Like, hey, I got into it because of this. And it's usually because like I was doing something and I just got hooked. Like I love the competitive factor of it, or I love that everybody's nerdy that does it, right? And I think one topic I want to talk about, Brady, and I'm curious on your input. I mentioned this to you earlier, and that's like, how do you expand that beyond paintball, right? So here we have a bunch of dudes that play it. We all have the Keenan factor. We all like, dude, I'm hooked. Can't get away from it. Look forward to Saturday. Look forward to Sunday. Look forward to Friday nights. Like, dude, you see it on Facebook all day. Like, is it Friday yet? Is it Sunday yet? Like, dude, we're all chomping at the bit to play it. So we all have the commonality of just being addicted to it. Like, it sucks you in. But I think one thing we lack, and I've seen this personally, I've seen it with other people, and that is we have that commonality. We see each other almost every Sunday for 4 or 5 hours. Many times we're saying, I love you, bro, things like that.
Yep.
But we don't have those friendships that span outside of the paintball field. And I think that's one thing I'd be curious to hear about and bring even more people on, because I'm a huge advocate for it, dude. I'll bring it up because we talked about it today. But I remember the first time I approached Scotty and I was like, hey, dude, what are you doing Tuesday? You want to go grab a beer? And we did. And it's funny because when we were having a beer, he's like, hey, man, like, I was telling my wife that, like, you approached me, like, because he was wearing like a punk rock shirt. And I was like, hey, dude, like, love that band. So we kind of hit it off. But he was like, hey, I was telling my wife, like, Steve's either like a really awesome dude or he's gay, because he's asking me to. And I was like, dude, where did that come from?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just not used to it.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny, man, because I think a lot of dudes have that mindset of like, dude, we're afraid. We need it. Like, men need friends, but we're also afraid to do that approach, because I think we might be afraid of rejection. I don't know what it is, dude.
I, man, I told you this earlier. It makes so much sense to me that when you put it that way, because like I'm 31, and you know I've been married for 9 going on 10 years, and my wife is my best friend. Like she's the only person I hang out with when I'm not at the paintball field. So dude, I totally get it. And it's because it's so out of the ordinary when somebody approaches you like that and it's like, "Hey, you want to come hang out? Like you want to go do something?" You know, it doesn't compute when you're not used to that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I encourage it, man. I mean, that's probably why, like, I'm like, you know what? Screw this, man. I'll be honest. Like, I was post divorce, went through a lot. Like, dude, Tom, out of any people, Tom's been there with me since day one.
Mm.
Like, Tom's known me when I was married. Tom knew me post divorce. We've been friends through that whole time. You have to have friends you might have met through paintball,
Yeah.
but you have to have friends that can connect outside of that, right?
Yeah.
Dimitri, I'll call him out. I know he's watching. That dude and I have cried on each other's shoulders, but we don't talk paintball very often.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's, to me, circling back to paintball, that's where like the outlet's the paintball piece, right? The outlet is we all have that commonality. We play the sport. Dude, it's fucking awesome. Like World Cup's coming up. I can't wait. Like I'm going for 7 days. Like it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But you find people within that. They're like, dude, I shared these moments with you. And it could have been 20 years ago, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like Nate Kestelin runs Distortion. He's the coach of Distortion. Nate and I used to play pro and semi-pro and 7-man together in 2005, dude. 2003 and through 2005. I don't talk to that dude at all. I'll see him at events though, and it's like I saw him yesterday.
Yeah.
Right. But I lived with him. He and I lived together in 2005. So like you develop that bond.
Mm-hmm.
Paintball kind of holds that tie a little bit, but I think what I'm trying to promote, Brady, is dude, get out there and ask people. Like you see these guys every weekend. You might have some common traits that each other like influence each other on. Dude, hang out afterwards.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't tell you the last time Scotty and I have been at the field together, but I see Scotty every Wednesday night.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I get it, man. And you know, I guess I'm looking at it from a different perspective because outside of work, I think paintball is the only thing I do, you know?
Right.
And so, you know this, a lot of the viewers may not know this, but I live 2.5 hours from any paintball field. So all of my friends that I've made playing this game live almost 3 hours away from me. So I've got to look at different ways that I can connect.
So you're using it as your social aspect.
Exactly. Yeah. For sure. You know, and of course, you know, I don't play as much as I used to with all the broadcasting and media side of things, but yes, that's where I go to connect with my friends that I've made there. But that's not the only way. You know, connecting face to face is, I think, priority.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's so many other ways that you can connect with people. The friends you've made outside of paintball. One, if you're a gamer, I'm a gamer. Like, hit me up. You know, we'll play Rocket League for 3 hours. Right. You know, play Helldivers. You know, so there's other things to connect on for sure.
For sure, and that's. You have to, I guess what I encourage is like that outlet piece. Like, oh, dude, you're into this game? Like, let's get online and play it. And I think a lot of dudes, you know, a lot of dudes do that. Tom's one of them. I know he's done that. He plays with a lot of guys online.
Yeah.
Dimitri is too. Like, there's some guys on that are even watching this that do that, right? I guess it depends on like what your outlet is or what your, not even just your outlet, but what your situation is, right? Like, to your point, we talked about this too. You would rather talk on the phone. You talk a lot on the phone.
Yep.
And it's because, dude, you're not down the street.
Yeah.
You know, we're like, I can see Scotty every Wednesday because he lives in Maryland Heights, which is 15 minutes from me.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a good point, dude. But what do you think? Like, I've always wondered what that block is. Like, is it a pride thing where dudes are like, I don't want to ask him to hang out? Like, I always wondered what that was, dude.
Honestly, man, I think a lot of guys, including myself, like I've been here, we're just lazy. Like, I mean, I think that's a part of it. Like, I don't want to get out of the house on a Tuesday night. I'd rather lay in my bed and watch The Rookie, you know? Yeah, like, I think that's a lot of it for some people. Maybe a lot of it is getting outside your comfort zone. I don't know. But I guess it just depends on where you are in life with your Or say, I guess I could say maturity, because there's a vast, the age gap in paintball is huge. We've got 15-year-old kids, we've got 60-year-old guys, that come play. So I guess it could depend on the maturity level, but I don't know. I mean, what do you think?
I think that's a part of it. I think, I don't like using the word lazy. I would say maybe it's a little bit of a comfort zone for sure. Or maybe a lot of comfort zone, man. Like, I wouldn't call you lazy. Like, you're not a lazy dude. Look what we're doing.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you're not a lazy guy.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a comfort zone thing. I think a lot of guys are a little afraid to get outside of that comfort zone to hang out, right? Like I mentioned with my situation with Scotty when I asked him to hang out, right? Like, his initial intent was like, "What? Holy cow! Like, dude has to hang out."
Mm-hmm.
I haven't hung out with somebody in forever, and he was the same way, dude. He's like, my best friend's my wife,
Yeah.
right? Which also is not a bad thing, and we'll talk about in other episodes on how that is important. But yeah, dude, I think a lot of it comes down to getting out of your comfort zone. And you also made a valid point, dude. The age range. Like, I'm not going to hang out with the 17, 18-year-old guys that we play with.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to try to find the dudes that fit my age. Just like I wouldn't even play for a team that was a bunch of young guys.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't.
Yeah.
And we've seen that problem, right? We saw it on the Bandits. There was some age gaps, which I wouldn't plague it as a problem when it was with the Bandits, but I have played on some teams where median age is 36, and then you have a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Doesn't match.
Well, and I'm sure we'll get to this at some point, but don't you think like the bonds that are created outside of paintball make for better paintball players and better teams? Yeah.
I'll say it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off. Brett and I had a falling out as friends, but I've known that guy. I knew that guy since 2012, since I moved here. His brother was the first person I met when I moved here.
Yeah.
Did we have a falling out? Sure. Do we not have a friendship today? Yep. But you know what? Friendships end. However, I can tell you that even today, you can get Brett, and I would still play with the dude. I'll say that to the community. Like, I would still play on a team with Brett. Why? Because he and I have bonded so much over the years and traveled together in cars, slept in hotel rooms together, on everything, cried on each other's shoulders, literally.
Yeah.
He and I play flawlessly together. Flawlessly. So I do agree with that, dude. 100%.
Well, and it's like, okay, so you look at, like, let's take Pro Team, for example, Dynasty. One of the OG of teams. Every year they do team houses together. Like, they spend at least 1 week together in a house, living with each other, going to the bathroom after each other, spending that time together and building those relationships. And so, it's kind of to Tom's point, he posted in the comments, Snake 1s need to trust their Snake 2s. Yeah, like, you've got to completely trust your team to make this work. And of course, we're not just talking paintball, we're talking other things too. But yeah.
I like that, man. I want to, did you have a point to finish?
No, go ahead.
I want to comment on Tom's comment. That's true, man. I was the new guy with the Bandits. I forgot where I came from at the time, but I think I may have just been a free agent, but they reached out, and Tom was the one I spoke to. I was the new guy, dude. These guys, you're talking about guys that had bonds for years. Like, they were all old heads. They've been around together. They were traveling together. So I was the new kid on the block, and it was interesting because now I consider myself and I know I'm not, but I still consider myself one of the OG Bandits.
Yeah.
Because I spent a couple seasons hanging out with Tom and Aaron, his wife, going out to dinner. They come over here. They know my kids. Like, dude, I've spent Thanksgiving Eve with Tom and his wife and other folks. Like, we have that bond outside of paintball. And Tom will tell you, we might talk paintball, but I can also tell you, Tom and I have the longest Midwestern goodbyes out of anybody I know. That dude and I can sit in the parking lot and say goodbye to each other for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Right? It's true. He'll probably comment on it. Tom and I can't say bye to each other. But it's I think because of that bond, I can get on a field with Tom. And dude, we just did it at practice. I forgot who we played with, Tom. But we played on a Saturday afternoon. maybe with Faithful, like weren't you there? You were there.
Me? I don't know if I was.
Weren't you guys getting ready for that Arkansas tournament or no?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we were. Yeah.
So dude, Tom and I hadn't been on a field in probably 2 years together, maybe 3 years together. And Tom and I practiced that day, and it was like you probably heard him. He's like, Steve's in D3. Steve, shoot this way. I mean, it was like, didn't even hesitate.
Yeah. No, that's really cool, man. I think we need to see a lot more of this, and I like that we're going this direction. I like Tom's point too in the comments. He says, I think there's also a huge macho component. Dudes don't like to talk about their emotions. Nobody wants to be vulnerable. And I think that's absolutely right. I mean, nobody wants to get in the shit.
So I'm gonna bring that up in the next. I think we need to have a whole episode on it, but I want to touch with it.
Yeah.
And I want to hear your points on this too. So I'll say this, like you said, dude, it's raw, and I will be, for those that know me, like I'm an open book. I don't care. I see two different therapists. I see a talk therapist every week, and then I see a therapist that specializes in EMDR. For those of you that don't know what EMDR is, it's pretty much light therapy. So you have like a flash bar, right? And you watch a light go back and forth, and you process negative thoughts. So you'll have like a, maybe something bad happened, a bad car accident or something, and you find a way to process that. Processing means you're watching that light bar, and like every 15 seconds, 20 seconds or so, they'll stop the bar and they'll ask you, like, how does your body feel? What are you feeling? What are you thinking? Right? And then you go off of that thought, and then you process that thought. So essentially, it would be like if you had a massive trauma in your life, like you lost a child or something like that, you'll find a way to rewire your brain to not put blame, guilt, pressure on yourself, but to think of that, you find a way to rewire it into a positive thought.
Wow.
So you're essentially reprocessing it. Anyway, what I'm getting at is just today, I was with his name's Stefan. I was with him, and he was like, dude, you're probably the most assertive and like open dudes I know. And I told Robin this, so if Robin does watch it, she won't get upset. But he was like, dude, if you weren't with your girlfriend, there'd be a lot of ladies that would like you because you're just upfront and you're open.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thanks, man. And I think I'm saying that, Brady, because I want to open up the conversation on a lot of dudes are prideful. You do have that machismo thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't talk about my shit. Dude, I know it's a buzzword today, but that right there is toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
100%. In reality, just because you were told growing up, don't cry, don't say your feelings, dude, that's all bullshit.
Yeah.
All of it. It's like I'm learning, being in a very healthy relationship now, she respects and cares about me more because I'll say, hey, you know what? I don't like this. Like, we need to talk about this and fix it.
Yeah.
Versus bottling it up, running away, punching holes in the walls, which a lot of these macho dudes do.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't solve anything, dude.
Yeah.
And I don't think it solves anything with like, dude, even like a relationship with like a hetero relationship with a man. Like, dude, I'm going to tell you, like, hey, Brady, this is stupid. Like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
But I can keep my mouth shut and be like, I don't talk about my feelings. For what, dude?
Yeah.
So I can get pissed off at you and throw a glass at the wall?
Well, Steve, here's the thing. Like, okay, so I'll take an example. Me and my wife. She might text me something throughout the day that I don't know what tone she meant behind it, but it just pissed me off. And so I'm stewing on that all day long, just thinking conversation after conversation of how we're going to talk about this, how we're going to handle it.
Right.
And by the time we actually have the conversation and I just tell her how I feel, I'm no longer mad about it. Like, do you ever find that to be true? Like,
yes.
It's just, it's, it wasn't as big of a deal as you made it out to be.
Yeah.
Not only that, but the more you stewed on it, the more you just made yourself mad.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, walk away, assess. And dude, it took me, I'm 43, right? I think I said that. It took me decades to now learn. Think about yourself on a planet. You're the size of an ant. There's this whole universe out there. So pull away and zoom in on your life and how you're showing up in this situation, right? And I'm like, you know what? In the grand scheme of things, like, she said this, it pissed me off, but like, how is this going to impact my relationship positively?
Yeah.
Not negatively. Like, if I say something, how am I going to impact my relationship?
Mm.
And you walk away from that, you come back to it. And dude, like Robin and I have done it. Like we have never, like we've had some tips, but we'll always come back and be like, hey, you want to talk about it? I'm like, yeah, like
Yeah.
this sucked. Like I didn't like this. And like I think we need to do things differently going forward.
Yeah.
In this for this scenario.
Well, and I want to make a point too, like not everybody's different, but
Yeah.
you know, me, I'm a talker. Like I want to handle the problem now.
Same.
I want to figure this out, and whatever I got to do to fix it, that's what we're gonna do. My wife is the total opposite. She needs to think about it. She needs to process it, and so
Right.
you know,
Right.
sometimes it's like, no, we're gonna fix this, and it's like, no, you
yeah.
get away from me. So
Yes.
you know, I'm sure some people are in that same scenario.
You have to,
but
and you have to find that balance, right? I'm
Yes.
the same way. Like
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey, let's fix this now. And she'll be like, I need to like think about this.
yeah.
All right, cool. I'll give you that.
And the whole
time.
time
So,
you're just like, why do you want to think about it? Like it's just gonna,
right. Then
it's
you're
gonna
stewing
piss
on
you
it?
off.
Yeah.
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 So,
I mean, I can tell you, I have fight or flight really bad, and dude, my flight's insane. Like I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, but you learn to just assess that situation, dude. And I
Yeah.
think the same would go back to Tom's point, like with guys being macho and not wanting to talk about it. It's okay, dude. Even amongst friends, right? Like, there's been several friends. You know, I've already mentioned Dimitri, but like, there's been stuff that I'm like, dude, like, nothing's gonna leave. Like, just talk about it, homie. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
And that's right. That to plug what we are doing. That's why we're here. That's why I'm dedicating time on a Thursday night to do the True Grit podcast, because I hope that we can build that community, Brady.
Yeah.
Of we're a bunch of friends that are here to help each other, and that foundation is the sport that we love.
Yeah.
But there's more than that, a lot more than that, right? Like I know I can call a couple of guys, of which are listening, and say, hey, I need help. It's happened. I'm not going to mention names, but it's happened. I've gotten that phone call. And like, dude, you just go, you know?
Yeah.
And I would hope that we can promote that better. And I think, like you said, Brady, it's hard for some folks. But I would hope that we can help continue creating those outlets, whether it's video games, whether it's phone calls, whether it's once a month we have a poker night. We do something where guys are finding those friendships that they deserve. Because, dude, I just read something and it was like, you know, obviously everybody knows like the suicide rate for men is much higher, but now they're saying the mortality rate is higher for men dying younger. So like men, the percentage of men that die at an earlier age, like 55 to like 70, is insane.
Yeah.
Right. And it's, I don't know, man. Like I want to advocate for that. Right. And we can do it at this level with our community.
So Steve, let me tell you something and touch on that point. I was in a class of 32, a super small school.
Yeah.
10% of my class has died, and they're all men.
That gave me chills.
I'm 31 years old. So it's insane to me that it makes sense, I guess, that the mortality rate is going that way. But why? What is the answer?
I think healthy relationships, and within healthy relationships, I mean all around, right? Not just romantic relationships, period.
Yeah.
I think healthy relationships, I think activity, right?
Yep.
Which kind of falls in with grit, right? Activity for sure. Dude, even if you're walking around the block, right?
Yeah.
I think the ability to, this goes along with relationships, but the ability to develop a brotherhood, a tribe, if you will.
Yeah.
And I think, again, dude, I think paintball has it.
Yeah.
But I think it's very seldom that you create that tribe through paintball. I can tell you, I see it in one team right now, and it's those kids. All those kids.
Yeah.
Like Lucas, all those dudes. There's a tribe there. But you know what? They're teenagers, man. That tribe's not going to last.
Yep.
But that tribe is there.
Yeah.
And you can see it.
Well,
right?
I want to add one more point to that, and that's intentionality. intentionality in everything you do, because
I like that.
if you're just going through life, just going through the motions, like, you're never going to get where you intend on going because you don't have direction. So, be intentional in the relationships that you build. Reach out to your friends, call them, text them, make plans with them.
I probably fail at it more than I succeed, but I have it on my phone. Marcel's a receiver of this, I'll tell you that. He'll attest to it if you ask him. I have it on my phone that at noon every day, it literally says text or call a friend. It's a reminder on my phone.
Yeah.
And it could be, I mean, I used to do it to Brett all the time. He could tell you if you asked him, like, it would be like, hey, dude, hope you have a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Or, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about you, man.
Yeah.
Like, simple as that. And dude, I'll say that goes a long way. I have a buddy of mine. You mentioned like people from your high school who have passed away. I have a buddy of mine that I've known since I was a baby. Our parents went to high school together. I did that one day and got a response of, dude, this really means a lot that you reach out to me. Like, I just quit drinking after 15 years. I don't have anybody. I'm afraid I'm going to lose my family. And like, you texting me helps motivate. I'm like, dude,
wow.
Like, didn't even realize I did that. But it was a simple like, hey man, thinking about you. What's going on?
Wow. That's insane, dude.
Yeah.
But you got to have that. You got to have that, you got to be willing to step outside your comfort zone, like we talked about, to be able to do that, Tom in the comments said, gay, like, don't worry about what people are going to think about you. If somebody thinks that's gay, whatever.
Right.
It's not like you're being a genuine human being by caring.
Right.
So put that aside and be intentional.
I would assume Tom's just joking, but yeah.
He was. It was something way back. But I saw it. It made me laugh.
But dude, I can tell you, and I'll call Dimitri out again because we're friends. We talk like 3 times a day. There will be times where I'll say, hey, Dimitri, like, hey man, appreciated seeing you tonight. Or hey man, just want to say I appreciate you. I'm not kidding you. And he'll tell you. He'll call me and be like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
Like, nothing, dude. I was just saying I appreciate you. He's like, that's not normal. I'm like, it actually is.
Not normal that you don't know this.
It's okay, man. It's okay. But you mentioned intentionality. I want to touch on something, and maybe we'll have like a whole episode and break this down one day. But you ever listen to Bedros Keuilian? You ever listen to him at all?
No.
I'll have to send you his podcast.
Yeah.
Man. He's a good dude. He has what he calls the 5 C's. Okay. Have you heard of the 5 C's?
I don't know. Throw them at me.
Clarity, confidence, courage, consistency, and charisma.
I like where this is going. And
I think every man should have that in his mantra. Every man should have that in his daily, what do you call it? I can't think of the name of it, but creed, his daily creed. So those 5 C's encompass intentionality as well, right?
Yeah.
I think that's going to fall along the lines of courage or consistency. But if you can instill that and you can practice that on a daily basis, it almost makes you feel unstoppable because that clarity is going to give you so much.
Yeah.
Right. And I think part of that clarity is I know who I am. Do I look for clarity every day? I do. But I do know that I have a massive heart, dude. And I love to talk and I love to love. Like, I'm a big lover.
Yeah.
I don't have any shame. Like, dude, if you're close with me, like, homie, you're in it.
Yeah.
Right? You're in it until you're not in it. And dude, you heard me tell you, I flat out said, Brett and I had a falling out, but you know what? I forgave the guy.
Yeah.
We couldn't be friends like we were, but I play on a paintball team for sure. But it's because, like, dude, I just have a big heart, man. We live once. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We have one shot at this.
No, I mean,
I think those 5 C's go a long way, dude. We should talk about those C's one day.
For sure. I think we could do an episode on each one of them.
Yeah.
But I think it all comes back to your point is having a purpose as a man. And once you know that, then you have a sense of direction. I have to know where I'm going every single day. Yeah. And that's that for my stress, for I don't know what I'm even trying to say, but you know, I've gotta know what I'm doing
A
day
purpose.
after
You have
day.
to have a purpose.
My purpose, exactly. So that's a big deal because I feel lost. I feel lost when I don't know what's ahead. You know, at least have an idea of it. Do you feel that way?
I do, man. I do. And I've struggled a lot with it. I really have. I've struggled a lot with it in different aspects of my life. I think now I struggle with it because I'm obviously older than you, and
Yeah.
I'm 43, two older kids, a bonus kid. Um, this is kind of that decade of my life where I'm like, all right, dude, I need some sense of purpose. I literally have this. It's in this book. It's my second half life plan. It literally, that's what I titled it. Like, because
That's good.
I'm in that second half of my life, dude.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like Robin, my girlfriend, she'll make fun of me. She'll be like, "You plan way too much. You have too many goals." I'm like, "But I don't, because
Yeah.
if I don't have those, I don't feel like I have direction."
Yeah.
But it can be as simple as, and dude, it's in here. Like, I wish I could show you and not have it be blurred. Like, I had a goal of finding a healthy relationship with a woman.
Mm.
Guess what? I checked it off.
Hell
I
yeah.
had a goal of developing relationships with my kid, which I struggle with daily. But developing relationships with them. I feel like it's super healthy to have that purpose, have those goals. And you'll listen to a bunch of dudes. I know you're a big reader. Dude, you can read a million books and they all will tell you, like, journal and write down your goals.
Yep. Yep.
Period.
Write
And
it down.
it could be as simple as like, I want to kiss and make up with John Moran and be part of Ruthless again.
Yeah.
Like, which did happen. But you just have to set those goals, man.
Yeah, because when it's up here, it doesn't exist. When you put it on paper, it's a real thing. It's tangible. You look at it every day. That's what if I could pan my camera around, like you'd see 1,000 sticky notes around my desk because it's all mental notes that I just had to get out and put it on paper. So now I see it every time I sit down in my office.
Dude, I used to, and we could talk about this one day because you know what I'd like to start doing, man. I'd like to start getting emails and stuff from listeners. And then we could talk about like how they're feeling. Like, hey, this dude emailed us. He needs help here. Because like I was doing something kind of, I stopped doing it. But dude, I wrote down like maybe 5 or 10 things of like, you're confident, you're smart, like certain things every day, like goals and like just traits that like I know I've struggled with, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that stuff was stuck to my mirror. I'm not kidding you. Even when Robin first started coming over here, and what's really cool about her, probably why I kept her around. She never once said anything about me having a piece of paper stuck to my mirror.
Yeah.
It had a bunch of shit scribbled on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And to your point, dude, you have sticky notes, you have it on your phone. Dude, it's no joke. Like your brain you start thinking that way.
Yeah, for sure.
You really do.
I mean, my wife would call it manifesting.
You can manifesting's a little, I will literally argue somebody with that. Like manifesting's legit.
Yeah.
Manifesting's legit.
For sure. I mean, you put it in place. It's like, it's kind of the thing of, you don't become an overnight success overnight. It takes 10 years,
Yeah.
That's because you've laid the groundwork. Another way you could say it is, people that get lucky or get, big breaks is they've put themselves in the position to get lucky. They've done it over and over again to be the best at something or to be in that position, to get that chance, that shot, that opportunity. And then they take it. And then to everybody else on the outside, it just looks like, oh, he just got lucky. It happened for him. It can't happen for me.
Yeah, dude. And they don't see, I just put this down. I think we need to have an episode on life's journey because like what you don't realize is like Jeff Bezos, right? Like dude was selling books in like some shitty ass apartment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't, and I look at it, everybody you think can look at their life as a journey, right?
Yeah.
And when you look at that, dude, even me, like if you look back 5 years ago, I am a completely different person, completely different person than I was 5 years ago. Do I still personally feel like I have a lot of work? 100%. But you look at that, and to your point, like whether it's a business or just you building yourself, right? It's still part of that journey.
Yeah.
And all that matters, like the intent, right? Like you said, if you have intent and you're actually doing it, like,
Yep.
hey, I'm going to do this, right? And
Yep.
patience. One thing I think that we didn't touch on that men are terrible at is patience too. And I think,
Yeah. I'm the worst.
yeah. And dude, like I'm personally battling something. My daughter's 13, and I'm personally battling something with her right now, where, you know, she's kind of wanting to be with her mom a little bit more than me. And my initial thought as an impatient man's like, this is crazy. Get your ass in the car. You're spending time with me. Where I need to be like, you know what? Take your time. We'll figure this out.
Yeah.
My time is going to come where I can talk to you.
Yeah.
And figure this situation out. Right.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, man, 3 years ago, I'd have been like, this is get in the car.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, even then, you know, in the moment, it's easy to fall back into that mentality. Yeah. But also you can see if you were giving me advice, if I was in that situation, what would you tell me?
Dude, I love that. We another thing we should probably spend an hour talking about. Like, taking yourself and putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. I'd be like, hey, dude, she's 13. She's a teenager. Ride it out. It's not like she's never going to want to see you again.
Yep.
Like, don't think irrational.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know why we're wired this way, but the advice we would give our best friends, we won't listen to for a second.
No, dude. No.
It's insane. So.
Yeah. Or wives, dude. How many times has your wife actually been right? You're like, oh shit.
I'm slowly learning. It's taken 9 years. I'm slowly learning.
So one thing I'm gonna say this, dude. One thing that I've learned, and I do want to eventually have some casts on relationships, but women are solution based, and I think a lot of men discount that. Women are great solutionists. They really are, dude. Yeah. Women can come up with a solution and a half.
Yeah.
Our thing is that pride thing, and we tend to dismiss it. Like, I don't know. And like,
oh yeah,
dude, if you listen to or watch, and it could be something as stupid as like putting up Halloween shit.
Yeah,
they can come up with that solution on how they're going to do it, where they're going to do it, and you're like, yeah, I couldn't have thought that better.
Yep. I gotta acknowledge what Tom just said. That's one of the favorite lines from that 2015 Dynasty World Cup video. Is Ollie Lane giving that pump up speech, and he says, we dance, we breathe, we fucking flow. And then it goes into that hardcore dubstep. Favorite video of all time. Thanks for throwing that in there, Tom. Yeah, that's huge. No, it's true though. I mean, we do it together. I love it.
We're all, dude, I like to think about it, you know, my hippie self. I know Tom laughs at me because he knows I am borderline hippie, but I tend to look at things like, dude, we are literally all brothers and sisters if you think about it.
Yeah.
Man. If you take a step back and look, dude, we're all sharing this shit together.
Yeah.
Like, nothing separates us.
Yeah.
Like, we're all on this shit together, dude. We're all little ants on a spinning rock. That's all we are.
Yep. For sure. What else we got, Steve? I know we're kind of cutting it short on time here.
Yeah, let's talk about what do we got in the comments? Anything else? Before I go on another rant?
Let's see, Tom just said you're a proper Gen X hippie. Let's see, we got Dowski in here. Eric, Elvis, what's up, dude? We got a chat's popping off tonight. There's only 10 of us in here right now, but I know people are flowing in and out.
One thing I want to, if anybody, obviously they don't have to throw it in the chat, but they can message us directly. You know, I'd be curious to see like what type of topics, because I love reading, I like researching. Yeah. I like statistics when it comes to this stuff with mental health. And Marcel and I did a mental health podcast like years ago, but I would love to see like what listeners would want to see.
Yeah.
I also want to touch on like that life journey piece, relationships, the 5 C's, dude. I think we could talk like a whole hour on the 5 C's for sure.
Oh yeah.
And again, trying to loop that back into paintball. And I think tonight's topics really all did, right? It's how do we can get really deep with it, dude, with 6 minutes left, but really like, I think if we apply some of the things we talked about in the paintball, it can also almost help grow the sport, because it becomes more than just a beer league messing around on a Sunday afternoon. It becomes more of a, hey, I have this tribe of people that I hang out with. It might not be every day because I'm 40 years old, but you know, on Saturdays I hang out with the buddies, or we go like, dude, Mark, Ryan Land and Will Campbell, who owns AV, we've been golfing every Thursday.
Yeah.
We don't talk paintball once, by the way. We golf every Thursday and don't talk paintball at all. Right. And I think that'd be cool to see, man. Like how maybe we can grow the sport by just thinking less about it sometimes.
Yeah.
Because to your point, like you build those bonds and become a better team.
For sure.
You become better players.
So I want to touch on the comment. Dowski says, I think coming up here soon would be good off-season talk, like staying healthy physically, mentally, etc., and how we deal with recoveries and injuries. No, it's perfect. Perfect topics. Let's see. Tom says, at the end of the day, it's every generation's search how to define what it is to be a man. It's Tom out here with the deep philosophical meanings in our sport.
Dude, Tom's got it, dude. Tom's got it. I'm telling you, Tom's got it. Look, you know how Tom? I know how Tom will. I forgot how it came up, dude. But Tom was teaching my kids how to sneeze like a man one day. Like that's Tom. Dude.
I think I could listen to Tom give a seminar on how to pick up rocks, and I would just be in it. I'd be so invested. But you know what we should do is you ever watch like the Dave Ramsey show?
Yeah.
We should get people to call in and ask the hard questions.
That's what I was saying with the emails too, man.
Yeah.
We should get people to call in, like comments, like, and that's why I said, like, you don't have to be shameful, man. Like, it could be like, hey, dude, I'm going through a rough time.
Yeah.
Like, here's my situation, and we can talk about it anonymously. Like, we don't have to mention
names. Well, I think what I'll do is I'll set up an email specifically for that. Because I've got that capability now, so I'll come up with an email and we'll have a specific box just for those, and we'll post it in the. If you guys watching back right now, if you haven't joined the private Discord community, links in the description. Go join it, and we'll have a specific spot for that. I think that'd be perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you guys have ideas for the next one, I mean, we can follow what Dowski's saying if we want. Maybe that's what we do. Like maybe every other podcast we take a request, like a DJ.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So, real quick before we cut out of here, Steve, let's talk about the Slowiak Clinic. Let's touch on that, and then we'll let you guys go.
Yeah. So, let's not discount the fact that PBN's off and running. So, if you guys haven't signed up for the mailing list, please do so. With that said, a couple of things, right? So, October 18th, Slowiak's coming here. Scrimmage clinic, right? St. Louis, I think, is going to benefit a lot from this, and I'm super excited.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have a team to come in, showing up would be awesome, right? We're not going to charge anybody to just come show up and hang out. We're all friends, but we do have one team signed up, thanks to St. Louis Faithful. That was awesome. Dude, I love the fact that they jumped right on it. We do need one more team to make this happen. So even if you guys have just random people, it doesn't matter. Like, I think we did have that question, right, Brady? Like, hey, can I just get like throw-togethers? Absolutely. Yep. Like, this is Nick teaching you as a team. So if you guys want to learn as a team, that's great. And you could just be a bunch of random dudes. I did post a video yesterday kind of breaking down the price and why it is $825. We're already thinking about doing something again next year and restructuring it a bit, but that $825 is per team, and it's based on at most 10 players per team. So if you think about it, you get 10 dudes, $825, that's $82.50 a guy.
Yeah.
Like if you pool paint, it's not going to cost you more than $120, $150, which would be an event practice anyway.
Yeah.
So you're getting that plus a pro player to coach you, right? So
hey, all you Prime guys in the chat right now, get Prime Red, Prime Gold. Five guys on each line, pull it together. It's as easy as that. And here's the thing, Steve. I've been thinking about this a lot. 80% of you guys are not making it to the podium. Literally 80%. And I've watched you guys all season long, and there's only a handful of people that have made it out of prelims. So if you're in that bottom tier and you're tired of not making it out of that bottom tier, you have to start up in your game. You have to start diving in and learning from the guys that have been there and done it. So sign up for the clinic. It's going to be worth your while and the money. It's the cheapest clinic that you can get. Literally, if you pull 10 guys together, it's like $80, $82, $83 a person.
Yeah.
You're not going to get it cheaper than that.
No, you won't. And it's at AV. You know, Will's welcoming us with open arms again. You know, we do have $40 for that 2-star he's got, but I'm like, for $5 more, what else do you have? And he's like, I can do evil and 5 stars. So I'm like, who wouldn't pay $45? You pool it with your team. You guys are still going to pay a decent price, and it will still be cheaper than some event practices, and you get to play with Nick, and we'll be hanging out, and it'll be a good time, man. And I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, and I've got a few things worked up with the PBN. I'm not gonna share any details on it yet, but it's gonna be cool with what we're doing.
Nice. But yeah, dude. And then last but not least, you know, we have so much going on. I noticed that John Moran just posted some massive post about me being back. So if you guys are interested in jerseys and stuff, and you want to, even get some grit merchandise, hit us up. And you know, Ruthless, I'm back with Ruthless, guys. So
let's go.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, if anybody, Brady, if anybody in the comments does have a topic, I think we follow Dowski's request, so we can research those topics.
Let's do it.
And then if anybody wants to email us, if you want anything to talk about, or you're going through something in life, and you know, we want to answer some questions for you, we'll keep you anonymous, and we can do it here.
Yeah, perfect. I did want to say, I just thought about this. You know, we're changing the name of from Outside the Net to the True Grit Podcast. That doesn't mean like the layout reviews and all that stuff are going away. That's not going anywhere. Maybe less frequently than we'd like to. Of course, we'd love to cover every single league that's out there. Priority is covering the leagues that you guys are playing. So definitely, if you want to see a layout review, request it and we'll make sure it happens. But that's going to move to something that I probably record at a different date. It won't be our Thursday night show. That's going to be, we got to talk about that too, Steve. I just told you this the other day. So I've got some family stuff coming up through from now through October. So we're going to probably find another day to do the live show. So stay tuned for that as well. But
yeah. So it will still be a weekly show, but yeah. Times are changing.
That's it, man. Well, I don't have anything else, brother.
Good, man. We hit on every single one of my dot points. So this is legit. And we went a full hour. Awesome.
Hey, we're on the dot, dude. We're killing it. You know, if we can figure out our intros and not be Dimitri said it sounds like two brothers banging through a wall or something. I don't know what he said. It was
weird.
It was weird. Yeah. What did he say? He said hearing you guys before the start of the podcast is like listening to your roommate through the wall. Yeah. That's what he said.
Dude, I actually think it's kind of cool. Next time I'm just gonna be like talking shit about Dimitri the whole time.
There you go. That's all we got to do. So technology, man. We keep saying it, but we'll figure it out. Cool, man. Sweet. Well, this is a good one. Steve,
really good one.
Have a good rest of your week, brother, and everybody in the chat. We'll see you guys next time on the True Grit Podcast. Let's go.
Let's go.
Bye, guys.